Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale with a brand new episode, brand new format. I am super pumped about this, not only because of what we're going to be talking about, but also because of my very first guest making his debut, not just on CWA, but on any channel, any format. First time voice interview with a top player, Saint Belikin. Saint Belikin, how you doing, man? Welcome to the channel.
I'm doing good.
Well, this was actually your idea. You've been one of the best players, honestly, and especially, you know you're a really solid player when most of the other best players in the world reference you as one of the players they watch to get their decks and ideas from, and that's definitely the case with you. Definitely one of the most revered and respected players in the game, so it's really a pleasure to have you on the channel, man. So thanks again for coming on.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So what we're going to do, this is actually your idea to do in terms of the format, and I really love the idea. So what I did was I selected a couple decks. You don't know what they are yet from the top 200 decks, and you are a real jack of all trades when it comes to picking up a deck and really getting a feel for how to play it, generally faster than your average player. Now, obviously, some of that is testament to your skill, but otherwise, it's also just almost a skill that you can kind of develop. You can get better at learning a new deck. So that's why we have you on today. I've selected two decks. This is going to be the first one, guys, and this is going to be the second one. So it's going to be a Hog deck and an Expo deck. And what I want you to do is just tell us a little bit about these decks after I tell you about them and how you would go about learning them, and really just general tips to learning any new deck. And then you'll hop into a couple matches, and you can just talk us through the process that you go through when you're trying to learn a new deck and master it. So, sound good?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to give you the first deck right now. I'll list off all the cards. Tell me your initial thoughts about the deck, if you think that maybe any cards should be substituted, and then, talk a little bit about strategy, and then we'll move into a match, and then we'll do the same with the second deck. Sound good?
Indeed. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So we have Ice Spirit. We have Hog Rider, as I said.
Yeah.
And then moving in range of the cost of the cards, we have Tornado and Knight for 3 elixir. Then for 4 elixir,
very versatile cards.
What's that?
Very versatile cards.
Very versatile so far. Then you have the Tornado, so you need something to combo it with. So we're going to give you Baby Dragon and Bowler, 2 great cards.
Oh yeah, very good. Very good with Tornado, especially on defense for counterattack.
Okay, yeah, so you like that. You like it so far?
Yep.
All right, so the last 2 cards is Lightning and Furnace.
Those are quite they've got quite a big range there, because Furnace is defensive structure. You can use that as a part of your core defense. You can stack up elixir like with Tombstone and just build up your big pushes using Furnace. Then Lightning can be a side win condition. You can try and spin out your opponent. Also, it's good if your opponent has Inferno Tower. You can use a Hog Lightning combo, which will throw them off quite rapidly and may force them to overextend on the Hog.
Yeah, and like the thing I like about the deck is it seems like it's really solid defensively with the Furnace, as you said, and that synergy between the
control deck.
Yeah, it's like a control deck. Do you think that, okay, so it's a 3.8 elixir cost deck. Do you think that's a little bit too expensive? But, yeah, go ahead.
Because you've got the 3 win conditions, it's alright to have a deck that's expensive as that. As if your only win condition is Hog Rider, you can't really go above 3.2 elixir. Because you've got Furnace, Lightning, and Hog Rider, you can go up to 4 elixir.
Okay. So you feel pretty good about this deck. I picked this one because A, it doesn't have any legendary cards, which I thought would appeal to a wider audience, and B, it was being used by someone in the top 200. At least we hope so, unless they changed it. Yeah, but I've seen this deck go around a few times, and in C, it is a little bit heavy on epics with 4 epic cards. But it seems to me, Belikin, that this would actually be a good challenge deck too. So if people just have challenge cards, it should be good. What do you think about this deck in ladder versus challenge?
Well, because of the epics, and epics are extremely hard to level up, I wouldn't recommend using it in ladder unless your epics are equal in correlation to your rares and commons.
So this is mostly a challenge deck.
Yeah, definitely a tournament standard deck, or friendly battle, or clan chess battle.
Okay, cool.
You want to use it in there because in clan chess battle, you want to have lots of splash damage, and you've got Furnace, Baby Dragon, Tornado, Bowler.
So you think this would be a good 2v2 deck?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. All right, you want to hop into a match and kind of we'll spectate?
I think I should go through how I'd construct a deck and how I think about how it should be played.
Okay,
so
great.
If I firstly talk about the defensive capabilities of this, the main defense is going to be Bowler, because it's a very tanky. It can't be fireball, it can't be lightning, it can't really be rocketed. Even if it gets those spells on it, it will still survive. So it's really good for counterattack. With Tornado, it can stop Hog Rider, stop Giant, along with Knight or Ice Spirit. You can stop the Giant from moving that far very quickly. And also it's very good because of its splash damage. It can hit multiple targets with the Tornado, and therefore they would have wasted all this elixir, and the Bowler would have splashed onto all of those targets.
Mm-hmm. This might be a stupid question, but to follow up, what is your general strategy for Tornado in combination with Bowler? Like, are you always pulling it towards away from your crown tower, or are you pulling it towards the center of your side of the arena, if that makes sense?
Usually my first Tornado play would be to get it to my King Tower, so it activates the King Tower, which is a heavy advantage for me because it gives me an extra damage output for free, basically. But once I've done that, I'll try and use the Tornado with Baby Dragon or Bowler to try and get as little damage against my own crown towers, and then form a counter push based on my Bowler and Baby Dragon.
Okay, so you're pulling... It sounds like probably most of the time you're pulling it in range of both of your crown towers, especially if your King Tower is activated?
Yeah. If the King Tower is activated, I'll pull it to the middle. So hopefully in the game that I'm about to do, you'll see that in play.
Okay. And then tell us, as we hop, or before we hop into the game, any other final thoughts offensively? Do you think this is going to be a slower paced deck?
It's definitely slower paced, yeah.
Picking and choosing your spots for the Hog?
So that you got 3 win conditions in this deck: the Hog Rider, the Lightning, and the Furnace. Your Furnace is just going to chip damage and hopefully force your opponent to try and attack into your Furnace, so you can then do a counter attack.
Okay.
Your Hog Rider is going to be your main win condition. When you've just done a defense, you're going to want to pair this up with a Knight in front of it, or if you don't have enough elixir, just a Bowler or Baby Dragon behind it, and that should get good damage. And your Lightning, if your opponent's tower is quite low, you want to pair the Hog with Lightning, or if it's in 2 lightning ranges, you want to just lightning the tower and something else if they got anything else nearby.
Okay. And would you preemptively lightning an elixir pump right off the bat in a deck like this?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
If you're against pump, you'll need to lightning every single one.
Okay.
Or there's actually one little trick with Hog Rider. If they put it in between their towers, you can put your Hog in the middle at the bridge, and the Hog will jump over the bridge and go to the elixir collector.
Okay, in the middle meaning to the right,
in the middle between the crown towers.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, well, want to hop into a match here, and as we do, I'll ask you a few more questions.
Yeah, just gonna hop in now.
Sure. Let me know when you're.
Okay, I'm in a match.
Okay, cool. So, as you're starting out here, can you just talk a little?
I think I've got a glitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It won't let me select any cards.
You can't play a card?
I can't actually put anything down.
Oh my god! Okay, we're changing the title to a clickbait.
Should we skip this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna show it though on the video to prove that we found a glitch, because you know what, this has happened to me. Belikin, has this ever happened to you before?
Yeah, this has happened a lot of times.
So you can't play. What was you can't play one card?
I'm passing play now. It just wouldn't let me to start.
Okay.
That was weird.
Okay, so let's try to recover here, and as we do, tell us a little bit about, as we get into this match, we will cover the strategy as well. But when you're playing a new deck for the first time, are you trying to play it more conservatively, or is there any difference in the way you play it?
I'll probably play more conservatively because I don't want to overextend my pushes and then get a great big counter attack that I can't deal with.
Okay. And are you trying to learn, and good activation on your king tower there, are you trying to learn like specific interactions?
Not I'm sort of just trying to defend mainly when I'm learning a new deck, so that I can see what its defensive capabilities are.
Okay.
As if you look here, I'm going to put a Hog Rider down. So I got this big push. I've got lightning ready. No, I'm not going to lightning that because then I'll overextend.
Okay,
And,
that was. I definitely would have lightning there, so it just goes to show the difference between my aggressive play and your.
Yeah, you might put Minion Horde or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm going to put Furnace down, Baby Dragon, and that should get rid of all the skeletons. I thought he was going to put Miner on my King Tower, so I preemptively put the... Well, that was a bad Minion Horde by him.
Very bad.
Yeah, I don't think this person is very experienced.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way, but this is still good in terms of picking up your strategy first time playing a deck.
Yeah. So when I'm full on Elixir and I have Bowler, I'll probably put it in the back, sort of snowball a big push.
Okay.
Just like I did.
Can you talk a little bit about, with this deck, what your ideal big push would be? Would it be Bowler, Hog, Lightning?
Well, yeah, definitely Bowler, Hog, Lightning, or Knight, Hog, Lightning. As if you look there, I just lightning the Inferno, and that got me some chip damage, even without Hog Rider. And now I'm going to do a Knight, Hog push.
And you seem to be comboing the Hog right behind a tank unit, whether it be Bowler or Knight.
I'd usually put it in front of Bowler, because I want the Bowler to be behind the Hog.
So in front of the, in back of the Knight, in front of the Bowler?
That was a misplay. Whoops.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
So
even good players can make mistakes.
Absolutely. And, you know, another question about the Tornado, as you defend here, I know it's difficult to answer my questions and play at the same time, but a question about the Tornado is honestly, so I think the Tornado is a great card, and I think it's a great skill card, and I love it, especially on 2v2. But one thing that I struggle with is, like, sometimes when I'm playing Tornado, I often notice that I'll just keep it in my hand, you know, like, for a long time, like, if I don't have any obvious uses for it.
There's, somebody in my clan, Turtwig Data, wrote an article about this.
Oh, okay.
I'll try and
He's
find
a really good Siege player, right?
Yeah, and he called it the Rage Effect. And this counts for Rage, Clone, and Tornado. And he says that they're very situational. You can only use them at certain... This is before Tornado but got buffed, by the way. So quite often you can't actually use them in many places because they're spells and they only affect troops. So you can't just get damage off of them. Also because back then Tornado was really bad. They don't have many uses, and so they're quite time situational. So there's some times where you can get really good rage spell plays, really good clone spell plays, but they might only be one time a match, 2 times a match, or maybe even no times a match.
Yeah. So hop into another live match with this deck, and then we'll swap over to the next deck. And as you do that, why? So how do you combat that as a Tornado player? Like, and I imagine heal will be the same exact scenario.
Yeah, that's what I thought with heal, because it only affects troops and it's a spell. So this
how
deck
do you deal with that?
This deck doesn't really have the Tornado effect, or the Rage effect, as Turtwig called it, because it's got Bowler and Baby Dragon. It can be used on most defenses.
Okay, and really Bowler, Baby Dragon, Wizard, I guess, and Executioner would be like the best cards to combo Tornado with?
Definitely splash damage, air attackers are the best, but Bowler also works as well because of its large area of damage.
Now, if people want to make this deck a little bit cheaper for whatever reason, because people love cheap decks, what would be a good substitute? Maybe maybe they have a card like Ewiz, who's so powerful right now.
I'd put Ewiz instead of Baby Dragon. Even though it doesn't change the elixir cost, it makes it a better deck. You want to put Log instead of Bowler, because they serve similar functions, just one acts as a tanky troop and one is a cheap spell.
That's true. That's true.
And also, it's easier to use Bowler on the Goblin Barrel. Sorry, Log on the Goblin Barrel rather than Bowler on Goblin Barrels.
That's true.
You need to get the timing, perfect timing. You need to get perfect tile placement, whereas with Log you don't.
Okay, so talk us into your next match here, and as you do, as you tell us what's going on in your mind, you're going against a kind of a control-y deck yourself, I guess.
He's got Inferno Knight, Electro Wizard, Bowler. I'm gonna put
Baby
this.
Dragon, yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, that's.
He's got to be playing Graveyard, maybe, or I don't know.
I think he might be playing Graveyard Tornado.
Okay.
Well, actually, he's got Inferno Tower, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's weird.
One thing I've just learned, because Baby Dragon has such a large range, because of its recent buff, it can snipe a furnace that is put too far up. So I need to put my furnace back. My furnace back. Oh, he's got a graveyard.
Graveyard, there it is.
I need to put my furnace back so his Baby Dragon can't sort of snipe the furnace.
Smart move.
That's
there.
another thing I can do with my own
Baby Dragon.
It's like Baby Dragon, is that I could snipe the furnace. See here, I'm not actually going for the side that the Hulk is on, but rather the side that the Electro Wizard is on, because I want to get these really extremely valuable plays, so I can form a big counter push later. So you see this, he's overcommitted because he was down in Elixir and did a big graveyard push with poison. So I've got this huge counter attack. I'm going to put Hog and then Lightning down, and he's handing me a big Lightning. Well, he played smart there, but I'm going to put an Ice Spirit.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about switching lanes? Obviously, you switched lanes with a Hog to hit that right tower on the previous.
Yeah. So sometimes you want to switch lanes to keep good pressure on them. So if they're using Golem, even if one tower is at 1,000 HP and the other is at 2,000, I'll often go for the tower that has 2,000 if they go in the other lane, because I don't want to feed into their Golem push. I want to make them try and defend my Hog, and so I can not have to deal with Golem Lightning and just Golem and maybe a Baby Dragon with it.
Okay.
And in this game, I just need to get... Ooh, he's going to let my Baby Dragon get there.
That's GG.
Yeah.
Nice.
This person's main mistake was that he overcommitted to his graveyard pushes and let me counter-attack.
Okay, well, good advice there. Let's do the whole thing over again with a Siege deck.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Expo, isn't it?
Yeah, Expo deck. And this is going to be interesting. It's an Expo cycle deck. We'll see how you do with that. I picked this one up. I think the 7th player in the world right now has it. If you want to copy it, it might be easier that way. Let me see who it is.
11th right now, yeah. Just copied it.
Yeah, Knack from 8-Bit Gaming. I like that clan name. So yeah, he's playing the Expo deck that we see here. So this is an interesting deck. I thought a lot of people might like it because people love fast decks, and this is definitely a fast one with a expensive win condition. Everything else is pretty cheap, with the exception of the Inferno Tower. So tell us a little bit about this deck and how you would go about learning it as a first-time user.
So this deck is going to be a lot about keeping constant pressure up, because with Expo it can keep really good pressure up. And oftentimes your opponent will overextend to deal with an Expo that has 10% hit points. And then with this deck, you can just, after they have thrown all this elixir to defend this 10% HP Expo, you can throw another Expo in, and they just got no elixir to defend it.
Okay.
This deck looks quite weak to Bowler and Baby Dragon, so that's a weakness of it. And but it can cycle to Inferno very quickly. So you can beat Giant, Golem, Royal Giant even, although that's going to be a tough matchup for Expo. Hopefully I match up against Royal Giant so I can show how I'd beat that. Yeah,
that'd be great.
It's got a secondary win condition of Fireball and Log. So if their tower is at, say, 1,000 hit points, and every time they're defending my Expo and I can't do anything, I'll try and Fireball, Log, Ice Spirit, Fire Spirit at their tower, so I can try and chip down their tower, cycle to these, and also defend with Inferno Tower, minions, and skeletons.
Okay, and when you look at a deck like this, or like both of the decks, when you look at them for the first time, especially when you're taking them from a top player or something like that, Are you not afraid, but do you think it's a smart move to make adjustments before you even play a match to better suit what you think the most situations in terms of countering the meta would be, or to maybe fill in any spots that look like weak spots in the deck, or do you just roll with what you see someone else having success with and try to learn it that way first?
I'd change it for 2 reasons: either because I've got an underleveled card which I don't use, or because I feel that there can be better cards to use. So in this deck, I think you can use Knight instead of Ice Spirit, and that'll be a lot better.
Okay, let's do that.
It will slow the cycle of the deck, but I think it will help me against Bowler and Baby Dragon, and also get better counterattacks. Because with Ice Spirit, you can't really counterattack because it's a spirit and only lasts 1 shot.
Yeah, and it helps having that one unit in the deck that has a little bit of HP, you know?
So it isn't weak to splash damage.
Exactly. And even, I can imagine even like cards that not necessarily the Knight is the best counter at, like Elite Barbarians and stuff like that. It would just, I can imagine it coming in more useful than Ice Spirit in certain circumstances.
Well, this deck will be really good against Elite Barbarians because it's got skeletons and minions, which are the best defenses against Elite Barbarians. And also, also it's got Inferno Tower, so if you're really struggling to defend them with that, you can use Inferno Tower skeletons, and that will stop them.
How about against Lava Loon, a deck like this?
Oh, this deck will beat Lava Loon 99 out of 100 times.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about that, because it seems like no matter what deck I share lately, Belikin, everybody in the not everybody, but I inevitably get half a dozen comments.
Oh yeah, it loses to Lava Loon. It loses to Lava Loon.
Yes, this deck loses to Lava Loon. This deck loses to Lava Loon. So tell us
if you want to beat Lava Loon, use Expo, and I'll explain why. So Lava Loon, most of the troops are in the air, and maybe they'll have a Tombstone or a Skeleton Army or a Goblin Gang, which can all be logged. But so it can shoot underneath them. Then you got the Inferno Tower minions, which inherently is good against air attacks. Often they might try to overcommit against the Expo with no ground units, which is always going to be a losing battle. So it's going to be very strong against Lava Loon.
So you're gonna
cycle to Inferno, cycle to Expo, cycle to minions, and if they have say double minions, you got Fire Spirit's Fireball.
Okay.
You just got the ultimate defense to Lava Loon.
Okay, we'll hop into a match here and we'll keep talking about that line of thinking. All right, cool. So it sounds like against decks that you don't have an obvious best counter to, like you don't have Musketeer and Electro Wiz and Inferno Tower and everything like that in this deck to counter Lava Loon, but at the same time you do have you can play defense through a good offense, right? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
As also a good offense can sometimes lead you to cycle to another good offense, and you can get positive trades from that again.
So you're going against Your Mum Is Mine.
So this person is using a weird Goblin deck, and he's got Ice Golem, which is quite a good counter to, or a soft counter to Expo.
Yeah.
But his Ice Golem is out of cycle, his Hog is out of cycle. So I'm going to put an Expo down. Also going to put skeletons in front. Nice.
Nice.
I'm going to put minions up that.
So talk a little bit about supporting the Expo and how you generally support it and how much support is too much support.
So usually if I've got skeletons in hand, I'll just put those in front. They're not too expensive. And they will, if they got a ranged attacker like Musketeer, it will stop them for a bit, and I can then react to them with a Knight, minions, whatever. Or if they got Inferno, like they just did, it will block them for a second. I put Knight in front, that destroyed the Inferno, etc., etc. Also, if they put Ice Golem or Knight in front, that will stop it for a bit. I'm just going to put skeletons here because I don't feel it needs any more. Put Knight in front, then going to put minions in front, putting them to the side so they miss the Ice Golem explosion.
Nice. So basically you knew his #1 counter was going to be Inferno, you knew his Hog was out of cycle there, so you just preemptively knew you were gonna have to deal with the Inferno Tower, and that was pretty easy there. Do you think that this Expo deck, for example, is good in challenges as well, or do you think that Expo is mostly a ladder deck?
I'd say it's mostly a ladder deck because it only requires one epic, which is the Expo. So it's not like the deck you just have to fought with 4 epics.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, it's good against strategies people hate, apart from Royal Giant. So actually, maybe it's not such a good ladder deck because of all the Royal Giant.
Yeah.
However, if they are inexperienced Royal Giant players, you can sort of out-cycle them with Inferno and then put Expo in the opposite lane to what they're going for.
Maybe you can hop into a ladder match next, and probably the odds are greater that you'd go against Royal Giant. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got decent card levels for this deck, so I'll go into a ladder deck, ladder match. And yeah, I think this person gave up.
Yeah, it looks that way. Well, they sent in that hog, but whatever. Good game.
Yeah. So I'll go into a ladder match now and see what I face.
Sweet.
So do you want me to go in now?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
So I'm hoping to face a Royal Giant deck or a Elite Barbarian deck, lovely strategies that people dislike. So my starting hand is Inferno Log Minions Fire Spirits. I'm going to put Fire Spirits down to force them to defend or just take damage. He's going to do this. I'm going to log.
So the Fire Spirits, it seems like when it's not used to support the... Okay, so if they're counter, it doesn't look like he has it. Yeah. It doesn't look like he...
This serum is good against us. He put 7 elixir in that lane. So he's down 7 elixir. And it just locks on. So I think he's trying to commit to this one push, which isn't going to go well with him. So I'm not sure he's not experienced. Although, that's actually, having said that, he did,
a rage.
I think it's like Knight can stop with this.
And that's the reason we have Knight in the deck, right?
And then log this. Yeah, if I didn't have Knight, every single thing in my deck would die down to Witch. And all these splash attackers.
Yeah, this is an interesting deck.
I'm in a situation where I'm down in elixir now. I think. So I'm gonna try and defend.
I know, but I won't tell.
Yeah, don't tell me. That'd be cheating. Okay, 5 spirits here. I'm gonna put a weird Inferno here because I'm full.
Oh, interesting. This is actually really a pretty good scenario, and the reason I say that is because Expo is pretty difficult to play when you're down a tower with the tower down. Yeah,
I think this will be a learning curve, in that I'll show what I can try and do when I'm a tower down. So I'm going to wait for him to overcommit to a push.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put Expo down after that.
Okay.
He's doing what I've been doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like you're both rocking the same strategy.
Yeah, I'm going to put this down preemptively.
Okay.
And I'm going to put Fire Spirits down here and then Expo.
So, okay.
And I'm going to put Knight down, because I think he's going to put something down there. Yeah, I was right.
And you knew you had to attack there in the left, because you wouldn't be able to stop another one of those big, epic P.E.K.K.A. Witch, Dark Prince combos.
I'm going to take a hit here, but it's fine. Because now I've got this. I'm going to put Knight down. And okay, then I'm going to put another minions down. Now I'm going to defend now, because I think he's going to put a P.E.K.K.A. push down. I don't overcommit. Because he let my minions do lots of damage. Now this is a point where I'm going to fireball cycle him.
Okay.
Because he's got so little HP in his tower. Going to let that hit there so it doesn't destroy my skeletons. And now I just need to cycle fireball, and it's game.
Very well played there. Very well played.
So that's how you deal with. That's how you can deal with big tanks when you've not got when you got a tower down.
Yeah, you make it look so easy, Belikin.
I don't think that person was very good, because he kept on putting P.E.K.K.A. and Witch in places away from that Expo, rather than waiting for me to put Expo down, then putting the P.E.K.K.A. Dark Prince right on them.
Yeah. Do you mind if I know this is really a long episode anyway, but do you mind if I play and you spectate me with that deck?
Oh yeah, and I'll give you advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Ready?
Yep.
All right. Hopping in right now. I am not a Siege player, just to throw it out there, but
okay.
We'll see.
So what's your starting hand?
I have Expo, Knight, Fire Spirit, Fireball.
I'd put Fire Spirits at the bridge as your first play when you're full.
Luckily, he's a level 12, so hopefully I have a little bit of an advantage here.
Okay, I'd generally put Knight in the back now because I want to form a counter push. I think he might have Graveyard. Do you have Ice? Oh no, you don't have Ice Spirit or anything, do you? Oh, that's really good.
So now do I Expo?
I wouldn't, because
okay.
I don't say his elixir, but he's ahead.
See, that would have been again my first mistake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop a log here.
I usually like to count. Yeah, that'll be a good play because you're getting chip damage and.
So I have nothing to play here. I'm just gonna have to do Ice Spirits in the other lane because I'm at full elixir. I don't want to leak.
I try and Royal Giant. I'd Inferno that. Yeah, good play. And usually I'd Knight. Oh, actually you don't need to Knight. And actually yes you do. Yeah. I thought he wasn't gonna put anything down.
Alright.
Now that I see he has minions, I save my Fire Spirits for those minions and use them on nothing else.
Okay, can I Expo here, you think, on the left?
Yes. He's not got Royal Giant up. He's got Knight though. So
right. I'm gonna Knight 2.
Yeah. Oh, you want to log that?
Oh, I did what you said not to do.
Lucky. I didn't let that happen. Although they did take down most of the Expo.
Yeah, that was no good. So I used the I used Fire Spirits when I shouldn't have. I should have logged instead, right?
Yeah, I think you should have logged because that would knock them back away from your Expo.
Okay.
So now he's got Royal Giant. Yeah, he's got Royal Giant in hand. You want to? Or you got these because minions are air. I shall say this afterwards. It's quite a nice fact about air troops against ground troops. But I'll say it after this game because you need to concentrate.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
I'd Expo on left now.
All right, so.
Don't ignore that Inferno. Oh no, you missed it. I try and log that.
Ignore the archers, you mean?
Log the RG.
I don't have log. I use log on the.
I didn't see that.
On the archers there, yeah.
Oh, you got Expert's Tower. I'd Knight that. The thing is, he's got Royal Giant in hand again. The person he still hasn't used 2 cards, so I think he's got Fireball log. Oh, there's Fireball. So, and he's probably got log as well. So I think he's lost this, but it is a quite hard matchup. I'd put Expo down again because you have to stop him at all costs. But yeah, that's
yeah. This is rip me because he just needs to fireball me. But maybe we can go through the replay real quick and talk about what I might have done wrong there.
Oh yeah, sure. So if you share the replay in chat.
Sure, we'll do.
And should we open it at the same time so we're going through it at the same pace?
Yeah, I hope you guys don't mind the super long video, but I really find this useful. It's like I'm getting one-on-one
coaching.
It's
quite a new topic that people don't think about. They just, I feel like quite a lot of people just copy a deck, go straight into a game with it, don't think about how they're playing it.
Exactly. So I'm going to pause at the beginning and just let me know when you're there.
I'm in.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, so Fire Spirits was definitely your best move at the start. As that's what I do 10 out of 10 times. So putting Knight, I'd again put Knights down at the back because I want
a little bit of a leakage here for no reason.
I'd fireball that usually.
I thought about fireballing it, but then it's weird. Not to blame you. You were helped more than it.
You took 500 damage there.
Yeah.
So that was quite costly. So here I would log that, and then. Seeing Fire Spirits next in hand, I'd probably wait to put Fire Spirits down again. Because Ice Wizard is there, I'd put them on the left lane rather than right. Yep, it's a good play. And here I'd put Inferno down like you did. And then I'd put Knight down to stop the Ice Wizard.
Okay.
So I think that was your first mistake. Then I'd usually log the sorry, not log. knight the Ice Wizard here to stop the minions and the Ice Wizard.
Okay.
And this is where I'd expo. I'd expo straight away in the left lane.
Mm-hmm.
And then knight to defend the expo, because it always needs defense.
Okay. So not knowing...
This is the thing that cost you the match, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because you've put down your win condition, you've shown, and it's gone down without him needing to put much elixir into it, which the expo, its primary function is not only as a win condition, but also to force them to use elixir and waste elixir into it.
Okay.
So your opponent was smart by using minions with the Royal Giant, and then by zapping them. So that was a smart play by him. But also using Knight there was a good play, because you need to stop the minions and try and chop down the Royal Giant.
Even though I screwed up on that first offensive push...
Looking back at this, I'll try and fireball log the Ice Wizard Knight to try and get some chip damage, since I know it's going to be hard to get damage normally.
Mm-hmm.
And this was another thing that cost you. Your Inferno was way too late.
Okay.
And that meant that the Royal Giant got over 1,000 damage.
Okay. And of course I have no zap, I have no Ice Spirit, nothing to retarget that, so that was just a loss.
Now that you put Knight instead, you don't have the Ice Spirit to retarget. You've only really got log.
Yeah.
So the two plays that cost you were not defending your expo well enough on the second expo, and not putting in leaking and not putting Inferno down on that Royal Giant.
Okay.
Other than that, I think you played really well in that game.
Okay, so basically, when I'm playing an expo deck against a Royal Giant, I need to make sure, and it's not even a max Royal Giant.
You just need to make sure that it's not in cycle. You need to try and out-cycle them.
Yeah.
But because they have Knight, Minions, and Royal Giants, it's going to be quite a hard match.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough matchup, but I can see what you're saying now as far as I think I have a better feel of how to contend with it better than what I did there. So
yeah. Do you want me to go into a game and see if I match Royal Giant?
Yeah, might as well do one more. Why not?
Or do you want me to friendly battle you and you use Royal Giant?
Whatever you'd prefer.
You use Royal Giant.
All right. I have to make a deck.
Is that way I can show how I play
I'll just copy the one the guy just used on me.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. We'll add it to here.
This way I'll show how I play against Royal Giant.
Sure, okay. Let's friendly battle. All right.
So I'm going to wait for you to play because my starting hand isn't the best.
Well, I didn't even realize this guy had this card.
Tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on the replay. So I'm sort of putting stuff in the back because I've not really got a good play to make.
I'm going to pretend I don't know you're playing an Expo deck. I'm sure you're going to do the same. Okay.
I think I wanted to minions go there. Minions, I think, because otherwise I'd leak elixir. I'm going to log this. Then I put these in front. I put Inferno here so you can't put minions there. Fire
nice.
Spirits. Then I've not got anything for that, so I'm just going to ignore those.
All right.
And because you slow rolled your Royal Giant, I've know you have Royal Giant in cycle, so I can't use Expo right now.
Yep.
So I'm gonna, assuming you can't hear me, I'm just gonna assume that you're gonna make the next play.
Yep.
Well, obviously,
and I have no choice.
Obviously, you can hear me, so
yeah. And I have no choice but to play the Royal Giant there.
It's kind of a phony game.
A little bit, but you still get the idea.
Yeah. So I know you're gonna put like minions or ice spears or anything. I'm not gonna put Inferno down here. I'm just gonna log to minimize damage. And then I'm gonna put X. Oh no, I've got a glitch. My
really?
My expo is I put my expo down and it won't go down.
Sure.
Oh
Very
wow!
likely
Oh wow!
Story.
The expo just went down too far. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a Reddit post about this glitch because it's been annoying me for several days now.
Here, I'll leak a few elixir to even things up.
Okay.
And I'll use a silly tornado. Okay. We're back to even, I think. Or close
So
to.
I know you've got Royal Giant in hand, so
Yep.
I'm not going to push. I'm leaking.
I was leak, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put Inferno. Oh, wow. That was a fail on my half.
Oh yeah.
That was half as well.
I didn't even realize the night that the Inferno wasn't locked on until I had the night there.
So I'm going to put stuff down. And this is... I'm not sure if I want to ignore that or not. I do. I can just skeleton that and you can't really do anything because you need to focus on this expo.
Oh yeah? What do you say to that?
Say 5 spirits.
Uh-oh.
So now this is the point where expo gets all its value because you're throwing stuff at it to try and defend it, but it's not actually doing anything.
Crap. Yep.
So there, if you just zap it, I can still fireball it. Yep, good game.
Yep. Good game, man. All right. You showed me. Okay, so I see what you did there. Like, you were very...
I was waiting for your Royal Giant to be able to cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So this is quite a hard mental trick. So if you're, say, not that good at mental maths, or you struggle with mental maths compared to other things, this can be quite hard. But if you count how many cards your opponent plays, since your opponent last played your counter, so in this case it's Royal Giant, you need to count if they put 4 cards in between their time they put their counter and the time you want to push, don't push. So when you put Royal Giant down in the back, and then you put, say, Knight, Archers, and Minions, Ice Fizz, by the time you put that Ice Fizz down, I know you've got Royal Giant in cycle, so I don't expo again. But if you put down Royal Giant in the back, then Knight, I know you don't have Royal Giant in cycle, so I can expo.
So when you're in a match, what are you generally, like, say you're facing up against another really good player, another pro player in like a big tournament, like, what are you thinking about the most, if that makes sense? I know there's a lot of things, but like, where is your mind mostly at? You're trying to think of where...
I'm trying to put myself in their shoes and think, how are they going to defend this? What elixir are they at? So what can they do? So if I want to do, say, we're going back to the hog deck, if I want to do a lone hog push, and I know they got 3 elixir, and say they're using zap bait, they just put Goblin Barrel down, they got Goblin, I know, I counted and they got Goblin Gang and Inferno in hand, but they got 3 elixir. I know they're not going to put Inferno down, so I don't need to worry about that, but I know they're going to put a Goblin Gang down, so I'm going to preemptively log, knowing that they will put Goblin Gang down, and that will save my hog lots of hit points and get me lots of damage.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like you're thinking more about what they're doing than necessarily what you're going to be doing next.
Yeah, that's really important, but it's quite hard to master.
Yeah, that's something that I always try to work on. Any tips in order to get better at that?
Practice.
Yeah. So you'd have to like just make the cognitive decision that you're going to be thinking about the opponent.
Indeed.
Okay.
So you think about what they've got in their hand. Mm-hmm. So the magic number is 4, as every time they put 4 cards in between putting a card down, you know they got that card in cycle again.
Okay. All right, man. Well, dude, we've gotten a treasure trove of tips from you. I just wanted to thank you again for coming on. I hope you guys enjoyed this chat and kind of training coaching session with Saint Belikin. Belikin, again, have to have you on back again because I found this really valuable.
Okay, thank you. It's been a pleasure to be on.
It's a pleasure to have you, man. Any way people can reach you, any shout outs or anything like that before I let you go?
No, thank you.
Okay, man. All right. Well, I will include your Twitter if you want me to, and you also provide some guides on Reddit from time to time. So. Oh yeah,
I think I'm gonna do another one quite soon on Bowler Tornado Graveyard.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, we'll definitely keep an eye out for that, and I'll retweet it and stuff if you guys follow me, and I'm sure you will too once that is out. So thanks again, man, and another Last shout out to my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. He is a great guy. You can check out his information in the description below for giveaways, tournaments, and much, much more. Again, thanks to Saint Belikin. Thanks to all you guys. And as always, take care, guys.